Hello, this is William Perkins. This video is some basic steps in cold calling in person for the town money saver. When you're out in the public making cold calls in businesses in person, walking into businesses cold, places that you've never been in before, places that don't know you and you don't know them, or you know very little bit about them, here's some ideas and some tips on how to have a better increase your chances of getting appointments and getting more sales. So first off, um, back from some previous videos, always remember the main three things in making a cold call is who the decision maker is, to make an appointment or have an opportunity to do a presentation to the decision maker, and lastly, of course, we want to make a sale. When you're making cold calls in person, always be prepared. Always have an idea of where you're going. There's a couple ways that I would do that. Either one, go out knowing, hey, I'm going to go see all the dry cleaners today, or I'm going to go see the strip centers along this road. And then when you get to those areas, always have samples with you. Have samples of common businesses, or drive the road the night before and figure out what businesses you're going to try to cold call, and have samples of those types of businesses with you, to where you could show someone that there's a lot of businesses you walk into and they'll go, hey, well, people like me don't do this. And it's nice to be able to pull something out and go, oh, well, here's a business just like you that's running in a magazine just like that. And I'd like to come back and share with you some others that are running with us in other cities, and see if it's a fit for you down the road. So first off, though, the things when you walk into a business cold, and even before you walk into the business, be very observant of the business. Be very observant, and first impressions mean a lot. So take a look at it. Is it clean? Is it straightened? Is it organized? Do you know what the business sells? Is their signage good? Is it poor? All these things are extremely important, and just kind of getting a feel of the decision maker. Because the decision maker, assuming if it's a smaller business, and decision maker is the owner, buys the advertising, and also is responsible for the building and its appearance and the store and so forth. And if this particular decision maker is very organized, then it's good to know that. If they're sloppy, it's also good to know that as well. So all these things can affect your appointment making and your ability to get the appointment and get the sale, of course. Also look at the workers. Be observant of who you can a lot of times tell who the owner is or the decision maker is just by being observant on the people in the store as you walk in. Also, a couple other tidbits is assume ownership. When you walk up to someone, even if it's the person at the register and they look young or old, or they don't look like the owner, don't assume that they're not. Always assume that they are. Always assume that they are the decision maker. You'll never insult someone for assuming that they're higher than they are, but you sure can insult someone for assuming they're lower than they are. So never assume that they are not the decision maker. Always actually assume that they are. Now, you're going to ask them when you walk up to someone. I typically walk up and say, hi, my name is Will. I work with a local Florence Town Money Saver, and I want to drop something off and find out who I would need to contact that handles the advertising and marketing. And when I say who, the thought process kind of behind that is, I mean, some people will walk in and it can work with different personality types. We'll walk in and say, hey, who do I need to, who's in charge of advertising? Or could you go get the person that's in charge of advertising? And that's really bad, because if that's the person, you just looked at them and said, obviously you're not them. Could you go get them? So it's important that you don't overlook the person you're talking to. Again, I'm trying. A lot of salespeople come in and they want to sell on the spot, and we can do that, but I try to value their time. They were busy before I came in. They were not expecting me to come in, and I don't expect them to quit everything they're doing and give me time. So it's very important to respect them. And so a lot of times I'll come in and say, hey, I'm Will. I'm gonna wait to another appointment. I saw your business. I wanted to stop in and introduce myself. I'm Will with the Florence Town Money Saver, and we work with other people like you in the area. And I wanted to see if I could come back maybe tomorrow or later today and share with you what we do with other dry cleaners, with other pizza restaurants. So whatever the business is, I'm going to talk about, coming back in and sharing with them what we do with other people like them. So, but first off, I got to find out who the decision maker is, and then I have to push for the appointment, and then I have to, obviously try to make the sale. Now, if the people say, "Hey, I've got some time right now, show me what you got," how much is it? At that point, I have to make a quick decision. Am I prepared to present? Prepared meaning, do I have samples with me? Do I have my sales literature with me? Do I have everything I need to present to this person? Or is this the type of person that I want to make an appointment with? There is some places, especially larger businesses and people that have larger budgets, where a lot of times I'm going to push for the appointment. I'm going to push, say, hey, I tell you what, let me come back later today, or let me come back tomorrow, and let me do a little bit of research and find some samples like I talked about before, and of other people, how they're using our magazine to get new customers in, how to get those customers come in more frequently, and how to get them to increase their average ticket, and obviously how to make more profit. And then that way, tomorrow or whatever day that's good for you, you also might have a little bit more time available to where we could, discuss some things and discuss your challenges and share with you these things and see if it's fit for you. Is that fair? And but if it's a smaller business and it's Joe's Pizza and this is Joe and he's a small guy, I may go ahead and present right on the spot. And in that situation, I probably have samples with me. I might say, hey, let me run out to the car, or I might even have them already in here and say, let's go have a seat. And so anytime I can sit down with them and present on the spot, I'm fine with that. For a lot of the smaller businesses. Larger businesses, I'm going to try to come back. So once again, always on every cold call, who's the decision maker, make an appointment or opportunity to present on the spot. And third is to make a sale. Be observant, watch, look at the store, look at the place, assume everybody owns it. Another important one is don't stand in line. Don't get in line with their customers. Every sale that they make, if you're talking to a shoe store, they got somebody there that's looking at a pair of shoes and they're, no, I don't know. And you walk in and get in line and stand there, and then the person that's looking at the shoes goes, you know what? Hey, go help that guy and I'll come back. When they walk up to you and find out you're a salesman, they're not happy with you. So, try not to affect other sales or potential sales that they're working on. If I walk in the shoe store and I see that they're busy, I turn around and leave usually. I might leave something on their counter or a business card or something, but I'll typically leave. And when I come back, I'll say, hey, my family, we're self-employed business owners, and I understand you need to make every deal that's possible. You need to make it happen. And I do not want to interrupt any of those deals. So if I come in, I see you working a deal, or you're talking to a customer, I am not going to be in the way, and I'm not going to adversely affect your customer in making their decisions to do business with you. So if you show them that you care about them and their business, that goes a long way. And then, of course, always have good samples, always have done your research and know a little bit more about them.